Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, we have a lot to talk about today because today we're going to talk about my Workhorse trade where I bought 500 shares. Then I got a little giddy and bought another 500 shares. I had a total of 1,000 shares. I was about to write a covered call on all 1,000 shares, but I backed off, pumped the brakes, and we're going to talk about why I ended up doing two separate covered calls. It's going to answer one of the more frequently asked questions I get all the time, okay? So I want you to stick around. I am going to show you my recent Workhorse trades, and they're live right now. Now, I'm also going to give you a sneak peek of my brand new Poor Man's Covered Call dashboard. Now, the number one question I get when it comes to the Poor Man's Covered Call is how do you find the stocks, right? We understand the strategy where we're going to buy a leap and we're going to sell the near-term calls to generate the near-term covered call profits just as if we own the shares. Well, you have to find the stock first, and that's one of the biggest hurdles Poor Man Covered Call traders have, finding that great stock. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the new Poor Man's Covered Call dashboard that's a part of the upgraded CTP dashboard. I also want to show you a new thing I'm doing for the premium members. I want you to stick around. This is going to be great. I love sending out Seeing the World Through My Eyes. These are emails that I send to premium members where I let you see the world through my eyes. And what I did this week is we talked about Apple. Remember I did a couple videos on Apple, how to benefit from the stock split of Apple? Well, I have a follow-up to that, and I'll tell you what, I like what I see. So I'm going to show you that. Let's go ahead and get to this. I'll be honest, I haven't updated my website in a while. We're now over $70,000. In fact, I'll show you where we're at on my total income tracker. Now, of course, my goal was $55,000 for this year. So we are exceeding that. And I'll tell you, I just released my monthly recap of all my trades for the month of September. And I looked back and I said, was there any heavy lifting? Now, I had a couple losses, but what I did is I gave up on a couple stocks and I took some losses for the tax year of 2020. Hey, when you make $70,000 to $75,000 in cover call profits, you got to have some losses. So I had some dead money, decided to cut losses. We move on. September 2020 would have been an $8,000 month. Turns out it's still above my goal of $2,500 a month, but I only made $3,000 this month. I'll tell you, in retirement, generating income, right, to pay the bills, live the good life, selling premium is my absolute favorite thing to do. I apologize to no one. I buy stocks, I sell premium. I could care less where the stock goes from there because all I care about is the next 30 days. And when I make that premium, right, I put that cash on the table, man, I can eat, I can pay bills, I can live the good life. You can too. That's why so many people talk about selling premium, writing covered calls. It's very popular on YouTube now to do these videos. Well, you know, you've been here for the past 4 years. You know, that's what we do. And I show you my trades. We talk about them, so maybe you learn something, okay? That's what I'm really hoping to do. Pay it forward for my mentor, Jerry, who helped me. All right, so let's get to this. If you like anything you're hearing, I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there, and it's free. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now, what we're doing is this. We are talking about this Workhorse trade. I do want to show you where I'm at for 2020. As you can see, $72,000, and I took massive hits with those two stock sales. Now, look, you can't win them all, but luckily, I've been able to put together a string of months that just blow my mind. Look, my goal really is to make $2,500 a month. I know I set these goals of $50,000 or $55,000, but if I'm able to make $2,500 a month and say I'm in retirement, right? And I'm collecting Social Security of $1,200 like most people collect, that $2,500 could be the difference to paying some bills. And I'll tell you what, it is inspiring and motivating for myself to see the numbers. So it's always important to keep the numbers in front of you. I offer this free total income tracker on my website, ctpdashboard.com. Free spreadsheet. I don't charge you nothing. Go get it. Use it. I just had a new cover call writer tell me that he downloaded the tracker, plugged in all the trades, realized that where he thought he was making $780, turns out he's going to make $1,200. And I'll tell you what, that's because he kept the numbers in front of you. Everybody asked me, how are you keeping all these trades, all these spinning plates going and knowing when you're profitable? Well, when you keep the numbers in front of you, you're able to do this. And again, it's about keeping it super simple, right? We don't have to use all the fancy software, all the fancy indicators, right? You just have a simple plan for success, and you can do it when you sell premium. This is not rocket science. We own some shares. We give somebody the right, but not the obligation to take those shares from us. They pay us a premium. And I'll tell you what, we benefit from that success. In fact, there's 3 outcomes when we're talking covered calls. We can win 2 out of the 3. Now, I learned that lesson 4 years ago, and I'll tell you, man, every single day I get motivated and inspired because I want to win. I want to post another green trade. Let's go ahead and look at this Workhorse trade just so I could set the stage for you. Now, as you can see, this is actually on 500 shares. Yeah, in the beginning, I told you I have 2 covered call trades on 1,000 shares. This is the second of the 2 trades that I did. But reading my trade idea and expectations, I actually thought when I wrote my first covered call on the first 500 shares, I was actually missing out. Workhorse was rallying hard. Call premiums are paying max money, and I did not do the full 1,000 shares. And there's a reason behind that. I'm going to show you on the charts why. And I end up getting lucky, and I end up making more money. Let me show you the 2 trades in my total tracker. So I try to make this spreadsheet bigger so you see the numbers, okay? So I do apologize in advance. Here's my Workhorse trades. In fact, here's all my current trades that are running right now. But see the blue? See the blue? Those are my 2 Workhorse purchases. So as you can see, I bought Workhorse at $22.36. Bought 500 shares. Then I slipped in and bought another 500 shares at $23.50. Now, I was going to combine the 2 with the cost basis being the same, and we were going to write a covered call on 1,000 shares. Didn't turn out that way. So as you can see above, I have a couple Workhorse trades. Notice this first one here. On September 25th, when the stock was trading at $24.84, I sold the 25 October 30th. Was able to knock down $4.84. I'm going to show you that on the chart, but notice that's damn near an at the money. Now, a lot of people don't like an at the money, but because this thing is so volatile, I wanted to capture the max profit for an at the money strike. Because remember, my original shares were for $22.36. Man, if I get 25 plus the damn near $5, man, I'm knocking it down. Now, what I ended up doing as well, when the stock's trading for $27.67, I then write the out of the money $30 strike, ended up getting $4.54. But do you notice something? When I did my original trade, the stock is trading for $24.84. Well, look, I just got to show you this on the charts. So let's go over to the charts, but notice, if my shares are taken away, this is going to be a cash on cash 20% trade for the first set of 500 shares and 24% on the second set. Man, where are you getting 24%? Man, I call that my cash printing machine. Now, before I get going, man, I hope I don't forget to show you a sneak peek of the Poor Man's Cover Call Dashboard and the weekly update email I sent to my members about Apple. Let's go ahead and get to this Workhorse trade. I want to show you something. Now, if you've been watching my channel for over the years, you know I have some low entry chart indicators, right? I'm not that guy that has the 3 chart indicators to make you rich. No, not at all. I love to use some chart indicators so I get a low entry purchase, right? That's what I want. I want a low entry purchase of a great stock, so I'm hoping to lower my risk, right? I'm not buying the fluff when people were buying Apple at 130 and then it falls to 104. See, I want to buy at 104, and I have my simple chart indicators. Now, you may have yours, but mine have seemed to be rock solid. I love the Keltner channel. Talk about this all the time. Chuck Hughes loves the Keltner channel. I love his thinking in buying a stock because the Keltner channel is a stock's trading range, right? It trades up, it trades down, but for the most part, the Keltner channel shows the stock's trading range. I want to buy my stocks when they're below the Keltner channel mid. Now, this isn't an exact science. I mean, this is just what I do. I mean, that's an indicator that I check the box, right? Then I'm going to look at RSI. I'm going to look at OBV. You know, this is just what I do when I do my research. Okay, so looking at Workhorse, And you have to understand, I've been on record with Workhorse that I believe it trades in a range, and I'm able to buy that range. I'm able to buy the bottom of that range. Now, this is your Keltner channel right here, but here's the deal. This is not trading below the Keltner channel mid, okay? But I noticed the trend. This stock is popping higher, largely because every electric truck company, every electric car company is all the rage on Wall Street because Tesla has exploded, making a ton of people rich. So companies like Workhorse and NIO are absolutely getting action. Well, I've been watching Workhorse since it was 70 cents, okay? I'm on record of this. So when I watch Workhorse basically bouncing at the Keltner channel mid, when it pops, I'm thinking, okay, if I can get a pullback here, I'm going to play it. If I can get any sort of pullback, I'm going to go ahead and do this again. Remember, I did some cash secure puts back here, profiting heavy when it got down to 16. Again, look at the chart. When it peeled back to 16, I did that massive cash secure put and it popped to some $20, $21. Played it perfectly. Now, I wasn't given the shares, but hey, it was a massive cash secure put premium profit. Now, when it peels back to some 22, and as you can see, it peels back, I'm thinking this is it. This is when I want to get involved. Now, I was going to do a cash secure put and start another wheel, right? But I noticed the call premiums were definitely paying more. I was going to stick it in, buy some shares. We were going to write that out of the money strike. And that's exactly what I did. When it was trading here at 22x, I went ahead and bought some shares. And then I tried to get my price. I wanted like $5 for a call. And, it's trading around 22x. It had already hit damn near $30. I wanted like $5 for a 30-day trade, right? I have my shares at 22x. I'm going to sell that at the money or out of the money strike for about $5. Well, I didn't get it taken. So I'm sitting there with these 500 shares, right? Now I'm hoping and praying. And by the way, this answers a very popular question I get all the time. John, when you buy your shares, do you immediately write a covered call? And yes, I do. My selling premium portfolio, right? Its job is to sell premium. Its job is not to sit there and get stock appreciation. Its job is not to sit there and collect dividends. Its job is to sell premium. So when I buy that stock, I'm looking to immediately write the covered call. I'll tell you what, I do not hold back. I buy a stock, I write a covered call, we move on. Because if I've done my homework, if the stock goes my way, I make max profit. And I've told you many, many times, this is why I have no FOMO. When a stock rallies above my strike price, right? I've bought in the shares. I've given somebody the right to take my shares away from me a little bit higher. I collect that premium. But when the stock punches through and heads higher, I don't say coulda, woulda, shoulda. For me, I made max profit. And how many times can you sit back and say you've made max profit on a trade? I tell you what, most small ball players, home stock market traders can't say that. In fact, they say some 85 to 90% of all home traders lose money. Well, when I can make max profit, I'm going to take it. But in this case, yeah, I'm holding it. I want that $5. I'm getting a little greedy. I get lucky because it does rally, but then it pulls back a little bit. That allows me to buy the second set of shares because now I want to play 1,000 shares, okay? Originally, I wanted to do 500. I had a pinch trade come off the board. See, I did 500 originally, and I was feeling like I was spread a little thin. I've done a U-Pro, I've done a Rocket, I've done a Redfin. I'm feeling a little thin here, right? And I'm doing this on 500 to 1,000 shares. Well, when that pinch trade came off the board, it put some money in the account. And I decided I'm going to do a full 1,000 on Workhorse. And that's when I bought that second set of shares. And just as I was about to write the at the money, right? Remember when it was trading at 24x? I was going to sell the 25 at the money and get about $5 for it. I just felt Workhorse was going to give us a couple more points higher. So I went ahead and did the first covered call. And to be honest with you, I think I'm a little screwy on my chart here. I may have bought that first set of shares here and then it punched higher. And that's when it got to 24x and I wrote the 24 at the money strike getting $5. And then it pops to 27 something, right? So the numbers speak for themselves. So the first covered call, the stock's trading at 24.84. I go ahead and write the 25. And then when the stock rallies higher, it was trading for 27.60, I believe. And I did the 30. And those two trades combined, if my shares are taken away, it's going to be over $6,900. Now, this is not a 30-day trade. I believe it's going to be around a 38-day trade. But what I wanted to show you today with this trade is this. When we buy a stock, we want to have a plan, okay? And my plan shifted, right? I changed my idea midstream, but I executed on the plan. See, bought the shares. I was going to write the covered call. I didn't get my price. See, I love limit orders. I do not do market orders unless I have to. I've talked about this all the time. When you have that bid, mid, and ask, I always try to sell the ask, try to get the max amount of profit. I don't want them assigning me the bid unless I absolutely have to. I always set my limit order for the mid and I readjust. Now, with that said, have a plan, execute the plan. I bought the 500 shares, tried to get a covered call, couldn't get it. Couldn't get it because I couldn't get the price I wanted. Then the next day, I'm ready to go, right? I'm ready to do that at the money strike. I go ahead and I decide to actually buy some more shares. And as I'm about to write the covered call on all the shares, I decide to pump the brakes. I went ahead and did just 500. The thinking behind that was if this stock pops, then I can actually pull the trigger on the next 500 shares. And remember, that's exactly what happened. When Workhorse was trading for $24.84, I hold back on that other 500 shares. And sure enough, it pops some $3. And I'm able to then write the out of the money 30 strike. Damn near get $5 for that one too. So have a plan, execute the plan. Now, I want to give you a sneak peek of the poor man's covered call dashboard. I'm still putting the final touches on this, but I'll tell you, it helps anyone. It's helping me because I'm actually in there looking for my next poor man's covered call, and I want to have a list. We talk about this all the time. The reason we have a list is so we can have a great starting point. We can have a great starting point to start our covered call research. Well, the CPT dashboard gives you the best 100 stocks trading now. But what about the poor man's covered call? Where do you find that list? Well, the poor man's covered call has some rules to it, okay? You don't just dive into a poor man's covered call trade. There are rules we need to adhere to. I don't know if they're called the golden rules of poor man covered call trading, but there are rules. And those rules are very clear. Well, we have to have stocks that we can use to start our research. That's what the poor man's covered call dashboard does. I'll tell you, it also has a calculator over here where we can calculate our numbers, keeping those numbers in front of us. Again, this is not done, but I'll tell you what, it has over 600 stocks. And I'll tell you, you can sort it by price. You could sort it by price action. Right? You can sort it by all kinds of things. And of course, there's jump links for every single stock in the new Poor Man's Covered Call dashboard. Now, before I get out of here, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, I did the whole series on how we can benefit from the Apple stock split. Had nothing to do with buying the shares. It was all about buying the stock, writing covered calls, because that's what we do here. We sell premium. Now, with that said, I did a follow-up on that. And the follow-up was a not so fast because Apple was trading with an RSI of 87. And in that video I showed you, using those chart indicators that I use, it was not a good time to buy Apple. Even though everybody's buying 25 shares to get 100, they're buying 100 to get 400 so they can sell premium. But my plan? No, I was going to wait for it to fall back. And in fact, in that video, I believe I talk about doing a cash secure put at 110. The stock fell back. Now, I think it fell back because the markets fell back. But the point is that fluff came out of it. So now what do the charts look like, right? When it's trading at 130x, the RSI is trading for 87. It's trading above the Keltner channel top. I mean, it wasn't even in the Keltner channels. It had spiking so high. Everybody wanted some Apple. Well, sure enough, it comes back. And when it comes back, it's now on my radar because I notice Apple has peeled back, but it has done that double bottom. See, this is what I like. I like seeing double bottoms, testing that support line. And when it does that, usually, Wall Street likes it too. And in my email to my premium members, that's exactly what I talked about. It's on my watch list. I call this seeing the world through my eyes. I mean, you guys know this. I don't make stock picks, recommendations. My premium service is not a stock selection service. you gain access to the premium upgraded C2P dashboard and everything that comes with it. And what that comes with it is my commentary, seeing the world through my eyes. And in the case of Apple, well, Apple's on my short list of potentially buying some shares and writing a covered call. Now look, for a lot of you small ball players, finding those great stocks is tough, right? You don't know which ones to buy. That's why I showed you this video today, because I've done my homework on Workhorse. I mean, I'm on record. Just go back to my channel. Look at all the Workhorse videos I've done. I've done my homework. I know Workhorse. Now, whether you think Workhorse is a good stock to own or not, I'm going to leave that up to you. But for me, I feel comfortable with it. And when I do my research and I set forth a plan of action, I execute. And when I execute, these are the kind of things I do. I want to go ahead, have a plan, execute on the plan. And in the case of Workhorse, I really like where it might go. I think over the next 30 to 35 days, it could trade in this range between 23 and potentially 27, 28. It's really going to have a lot to do with the markets. And of course, you always want to be watching because earnings is right around the corner. I do think earnings is November. Earnings for that company and all those thinly traded electric car, truck companies, yeah, earnings can move that stock some 20% either way. You need to be prepared, need to understand that. But today's video really talks about the question I always get. Do I write a covered call immediately after I buy the shares? And I do. I try to. That's my plan. I put money, I put my hard-earned money into a stock for which I'm going to sell premium. So that's what I do. Okay? I don't apologize. It's very rare that I'll hold a stock and then hold it. I'll buy a stock and then hold it and then sell premium. To be honest with you, if I'm holding a stock multiple days, it's probably because I'm trying to get a certain premium when I do that limit order and it doesn't take. So I'm left in no man's land where it didn't take. I still own the stock and I'm really hoping I don't get caught holding the bag. Hey, look, if you liked anything you heard there and you want to be a part of it, I come back every single week. So I want you to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video today, bang that like button because it is your opportunity to let me know you like what I'm doing. And if you liked anything with the premium service, you know, it's gotten so popular, I'm giving you a free month over there. You sign up, the free month is there. A lot of people are using that premium member offer to up their game. Hey, look. Be safe, be healthy. Most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.